Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nerden here once again, and in today's video we are going to be talking about a potential plot twist for the Timeless Child story arc that has been happening since Series 11, with that little reference in the Ghost Monument, and then it was the main plot thread for Series 12, where it was revealed that the Doctor was the Timeless Child, and the Doctor's had a bunch of secret regenerations we didn't know about before the first Doctor, and that has proven to be very controversial with the fandom, and I would like to say before I get into the theory that I'm open to the Doctor being the Timeless Child overall. It's just that obviously there are a bunch of plot holes that need to be answered, and I do hope Series 13 does answer them. But the main priority for this video is to kind of present a twist that could happen, and that is if the Master was the Timeless Child, that I do believe still could be the case, just because it makes more sense with the Master, because the Master has literally died several times where he hasn't been able to regenerate, where, for example, the Master's been burned alive, the Master's been shot. It's been crazy where the Master physically hasn't regenerated. And there's always been, subtle explanations that, the Master's been resurrected or anything like that, or he just escaped. We've never really had full explanations to why the Master has survived countless deaths, and I feel like it would be very interesting to put the Master as the Timeless Child, because it would make a lot of sense. Imagine that, like, the Master before had the drums planted into his head when he was a child, and that drove him to become insane, and the Time Lords used that as a link to survive the Time War, or attempt to anyway. And obviously, it doesn't really matter because Day of the Doctor brought him back, and then Series 12 killed them off again, but you know what? Let's just ignore that. But yeah, with the Master, it would make a lot more sense, because we've just discussed about the fact that he survived deaths a lot. And there is something that could be brought up, because the Master's never seen himself as something of importance, to say the least, and he always wants to conquer the universe rather than see it. And that is a huge departure from what the Doctor is, and he's always been known to be the meddling Time Lord. So imagine that's kind of like the twist, that maybe the Master, without knowing it, is rebelling against the universe and the Time Lords and everything, just because of the torture that he had to go through whilst being this child. That would be very interesting to see, because we've already had the twist with the Doctor, where the Doctor grew up on Gallifrey and everything like that, but it actually wasn't. The Doctor was found in some portal thing and was brought back by Tecteun. Now, I do think that this could be the Master, just because it would make more sense in terms of his backstory. The Master suddenly went insane. Just seems a little bit odd, and you can't just blame that on this temporal schism thing. It would probably be because of the amount of torture that he went through, working with the Division. And I could see the Master actually working with the Division, seeing a lot of horrific things, being forced to forget about them, but in his subconscious, he's driven mad by it. And the guilt that he's seen, and obviously we don't know the full extent of what the Division is, but I imagine that'll be another thing we see in Series 13, and you never know. But there is also the possibility that the Master knows the truth about the Timeless Child, but he wants to use it as an excuse to wind the Doctor up, and to really, really get to the Doctor, because obviously the Doctor resents the Master, whilst also having kind of respect for him because they used to be childhood friends. So perhaps the Master is annoyed that he's the Timeless Child and wants to put the blame on the Doctor for the actions when he was in the Division. That would be very interesting to see. But obviously this is a very wild Series 13 theory. I do think Chris Chibnall is going to be sticking to the Doctor being the Timeless Child, but fair enough. I just want more explanation in Series 13. I don't want another light series like Series 11. I want some answers regarding this, but I am open to the Doctor being the Timeless Child, but there are obviously plot holes that need to be fixed, so fingers crossed that happens. But yeah, I'll see you all next time. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.